Israeli, ex-Jew, and a proud self-hating Jew that, quote, despises the Jew in him, whatever is left. The ADL says he's an outspoken promoter of classic anti Semitic conspiracy theories and a fierce critic of the state of Israel, which makes him quite a good follow on Twitter and Facebook, and to watch his presentations and read his books. I describe him as a Jewish anomaly, a renegade, and a man of principles and integrity. He is the one and only Gilad Atzmon. Welcome, Gilad. Thank you for being here. It is an honor and a pleasure to finally be speaking with you.
Big pleasure here as well. I was waiting for your call for many years. Here we are.
My apologies for not getting you on sooner, but as we just discussed a minute ago, I'd be happy to have you on more regularly.
Yeah, maybe you'll change your mind in a few minutes. But just one correction. I love your the way you presented me. Just one small thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm really not an activist. I'm very active, but I'm not an activist. I know that sometimes people present me as one. I'm a thinker. I actually have a lot of issues with activists for the simple reason that activists always know the answers. And when it comes to me, I'm actually more interested in refining questions. And this is what I'm really doing. I'm not telling what are Jews. I'm asking what is Jewishness, what is Judaism, what is Zionism, how it is relating. And I look how these questions are evolving. This is what I'm really doing, which is not exactly what activists do.
So you're more of a philosopher.
I am a philosopher, yeah.
Awesome. Well, as I was researching you so I could do the introduction and find some good topics to talk about, my first question was, how did you get like this? What influenced you, your path to speaking out so vocally and really having more chutzpah than any Jew that I've ever witnessed? Because it's easy for Jews to have chutzpah and go along with the tribe, but you really seem to be a renegade, and you're so outspoken, and you've really gotten a lot of flack. I know that the Jewish community really disavows and condemns people who go against the grain and speak out against them. So how did you get this way?
So for many years, I've been asking myself the same question, and I tried to answer this question. I saw that maybe the fact that at one point in my life, I discovered jazz music, the music of black people, of the oppressed, and I fell in love with this music immediately, and I decided to learn this music, and within a very short time, I became a jazz artist, and I'm still doing it, on an international level, I would say.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify. I said award-winning jazz musician and saxophonist, but tell us about some of your biggest accolades. I saw you got BBC Album of the Year, so we're talking serious awards here.
Yeah, I played with a lot of people. Probably most of your listeners are familiar with Pink Floyd. I'm featured on their last album, and I played pretty much with. I recorded with most of British, most famous artists, and so on and so on. But we are not going to talk about music. What I was, unless it is very interesting for you or your listeners. But I thought that the fact that I realized that jazz music was, for me, a way out of this tribal concept the idea of clear destiny. Suddenly I was part of a completely different universe. This is what I thought for more than a while. I wrote about it in The Wandering Who. And I realized a few years ago that actually the environment in which I grew up was Israeli nationalist, patriotic. I was born in 63, 67 was the 6-Day War, or 67 war, it depends. The Israelis call it the 6-Day War, 6 Days War, and the Arabs probably call it 1967. They don't celebrate the fact that they were defeated in 6 days, obviously. And there was a lot of pride there, and this pride also involved a complete dismissal and rejection of diaspora Jewish identity. We regarded Jewish diaspora as the lowest possible human existence. The whole idea of Zionism was to establish a new ethical Jew that is connected to the soil and so on and so on. Now, I'm obviously will be the first one to tell you that this project failed completely. Zionism from day one was involved in plunder of the land and so on and so on. But it is also true to say that many of us believed in it. So when I was 21 or 22 and I toured for the first time, and by the way, my first tour, I think, around the world was playing Jewish, Hasidic, Jewish religious music. There was kind of, this was the first time I visited it. I think it was the first time I visited America, yeah, definitely. And it's not that I kind of felt hatred. I never felt hatred to anything. I don't hate Jews, but I'm very critical of Jewish identity politics and so on and so on. But the first time I visited one, I don't remember where was the first one. I think it was around in upstate New York or in Boston. We landed into a gig, and it was kind of a local Jewish center. And we were pretty disturbed by what we saw. This every tribalism, their fact that they identified so forcefully with us, while we didn't want to identify with ourselves. I think that it was in 84, 85, most of the musicians in the band were kind of graduates of the first Lebanon War that took place in 82, so we were kind of young veterans. We realized that the more they wanted to be like us, the less we wanted to be us, and far less we wanted to be like them. And I must admit that.
So their Jewish supremacy was like a turnoff to you.
Yeah, but funny enough, I only realized the level of Jewish kind of the problem with Jewish supremacy. It's the first time that I really met it was when I visited diaspora Jewish communities within this tour. I never really spoke about it. I'll tell you another thing that is very interesting. I was obviously aware of the Israeli-Arab conflict. I was a soldier from 81, but it was only in 82, in the war, where I saw the refugee camps in Lebanon when I realized that all these people were actually somehow, and I didn't even know how to deal with it, because the terminology of ethnic cleansing is something that started 20 years later. All right? I didn't know how to deal with it. There was no word available for me to treat what I saw. So I guess that I was left with a cognitive dissonance. 2 years later, I was a musician in the army, in the Air Force. It was a few days before I finished my compulsory duty. And this is something that I've mentioned a few times. I also spoke about it in Lebanon, and they even took me in Lebanon to and destroyed Israeli detention center in the south, to show me that it wasn't just in my mind. They kept some of those structures. When I was in Lebanon, I think in June, definitely 84, but I think that it was in June, for very odd day, we were in a Lebanese concentration, in an Israeli concentration camp on Israeli soil. It was called Ansar. And we were taken to a tourist guide, because the musicians in the army, they are treated like VIP. They eat with the officers and so on and so on. And along this tour, we stopped in a football kind of ground, and there were kind of small, square, concrete boxes, I would call them. Something like, you are American, so I'll speak in feet, like 3 feet by 2.5 feet, maybe 3 feet high. There were, I think, a dozen of them around us, and it was very hot, 40 something Celsius. I don't know. You will have to see.
Americans need Fahrenheit.
I know, very, very hot, maybe 100, I don't know. 100 is high, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, extremely hot. And I told this Israeli commander, tourist guide, listen, you cannot keep dogs in these concrete constructions. It will die. And told him, don't worry, these are not for dogs. These are for Palestinians. You put a Palestinian in one of those, they become Zionists within hours.
Wow.
And I looked carefully, and I looked at the door, and I managed to see a human hands hanging out. And for me, this was the end of my relationship with Israel. I say Israel because Israel didn't regard itself then as the Jewish state. And why I mention it? Because I'm now finally ready to answer your question. As I said, I wasn't raised as a Zionist, but I was a product of the Zionist project.
Were you raised in Britain?
No, I was raised in occupied Palestine, in Israel. Mm-hmm. I was a product of the Zionist project. I was born there. My parents were born there. My father, kind of, his family goes quite a few generations. Both my parents, Palestinian birth. My God, Palestinian birth certificate. And
Palestine was on your birth certificate?
Not on mine, on my parents.
On your parents, okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. But my father family goes before, I think 19th century or something. So he's kind of.
Are you Sephardic or Ashkenazi?
Definitely of European descent, Ashkenazi. Yeah. But there were a few Ashkenazi Jews who landed in Palestine, and they did it for religious reasons. This was before Zionism. All right? So about my family, I'm zigzagging here. My family, one part is kind of they were pre-Zionist, and the other side ultra-Zionist. However, I grew up with this ultra nationalist environment, and I bought, like my parents, like my grandparents, into one of my grandparents, into this Zionist thing, understood that we have to be truthful and to make a unique effort to be ethical human beings. And at a certain stage, and for me it happened at the time of the Oslo Agreement, because I really wanted to believe that we were moving towards peace eventually. And when Oslo Accord started to happen, I realized that we are not moving towards peace. It is all fake.
You know the
I
Rebbe,
understood
the
that there
Rebbe,
was no. Sorry?
the Rebbe told politicians to pretend like you want to achieve peace, but that really we make no covenant with them.
I'll take it one step further. I realized also that the word peace doesn't really exist in language. We have the word shalom. Shalom doesn't mean peace. It doesn't mean reconciliation, living in harmony, loving the other. Shalom means security for the Jews. And this was what Oslo was all about. I think that it kind of started to happen in 92, and in 94 I was out. I came a few times to pick my stuff, few more saxophones, but I never came back. It took me a few more years to realize that Israel by then started to transform. And by now, this is the answer to your question, to your first question. Israel started from 77 to transform into a Jewish state. You know, I know that all our kind of Jewish anti-Zionists like to talk, I'm a Jew, I'm a Zionist, I'm a Zionist, I'm not a Jew, I'm a Jew, I'm a Zionist. There is no such a thing as Zionism in Israel. We have a nationalist the Jewish you know, you have all these parties. We don't have a single party that calls itself the Zionist party. There used to be. There isn't now. Israel doesn't define itself as the Zionist state. It defines itself as the Jewish state, and it is quite a new thing that I wrote quite a lot about it. It's something that Netanyahu realized in the 90s. He realized that for the Israelis, the biggest unifier is Jewishness, and we can talk about what this J word stands for. And I realized that I never wanted to identify as a Jew. I was.
Now, Satan Netanyahu, not a Jew, reported to say legal system based on Talmud. Now, I can assure you that the Talmud has nothing to do with being a God-chosen people. Now, this video is a very crucial video for me. I actually stumbled over it. I usually come across Adam Green's work every now and then, because these are the type of people that scream Christian, but they really do know the truth. They really do know the true identity, but they will never, ever come out blatantly and say it. And it's so sickening how they drag and postpone this truth, to say the least. And watching them behave oblivious is even more mind-blowing. Now, I want you to know and recognize your enemies. for what they are, who they are. They have no intentions in telling the truth. They may back away, but their most crucial moments is a silent moment. And rather they know it or not, they know and they feel something in their bones. It's not right. They will sit there and they will tell you they know who the God chosen people are, but they never, never say anything about it. They milk this identity for what it is. And the sad thing to say is they turn a blind eye to it. Many are coming to their senses where they will realize that the next worst move that could ever happen on the face of the earth, as far as brimstone, as far as men's hearts filling them from fear, this event has their faces on it. And that's why Trump is very dangerous along with every other Democrat politician in these political arenas. Just say. Now I find it ironic that, what will we do with a real president nowadays, right? A messiah, right? A real king. If a righteous man had led the world, what would this world be like? But of course, these vultures will hijack him and milk his soul and use him in such a way. So we'll keep it like that. And it's better to just come out of this illusion and this curse and not want to compromise with our enemies. We reach a peak that there's no hope in trying to compromise. Because when you come to compromising your soul in the name of trying to overstand them, they still will be parasites no matter what. They have this illusion of who you are. They know who you are. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. They know Psalms 83 is all about you, black people. Dark skin, says Solomon. My skin is black. Job 30:30. My skin is black. They know these things, but they pretend to be stupid. They're just naturally evil. Yes. And how dare them call anybody anti-Semitic? They are the true antis. They're anti-God chosen people. They're anti-Israel. They are anti-God's chosen people. Period. Point blank. And the fact that people fear them because they call them the God chosen people. So people, what will you do when you find out that you treat God's chosen people, black people, like nothing? What would you do? Now all these stupid hunkies from hell, you know what they would say if you post up something like that? They would go, ha 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 ha, with laughing faces coming out their asses. Hunky bitches from hell. They are very hateable. There's nothing to love about them, in fact. They make everything in their willpower work against you. Even if it's taking your stupid black brothers, fuckery Trump supporters, and pay them GoFundMes. Use them as special agents to their benefits, even if it is to hate you and go against you, the black green. But see, we've been doing this for years. The house slave always want to fuck with the field slaves. They are gatekeepers. So all you black bitches out there, you know who you are with your white cunts. You love having sex to your white cunts, you white cunt lover. This is for you, you white cunt lover. You Becky Karen cunt humping dogma beast of the field lover. You Anglo-Saxon bastards lovers. You Catholic Christian beast of the field lovers. You same hypocrites that scream the left, you dogmas are poison, toxicity. And just so you know, you are well hated white people. Yes, you are. You dogmas. You love to police people. But we will give you something to police in the end. And it would be real good to see you bitches burn in hell for being so hateful and the enemy against the Most High. That you use His name in vain just to draft your hunky white selves in a broken covenant. You pretend to be a peculiar people. You pretend to play this anti-bullshit hunky game. Oh, you hunkies from hell. You European bitches from hell. That's all you are at the end of the day. You have no real reason to claim identity crisis. You identity thieves. You're hunkies from hell. Your heaven here on earth is pretty much up, dogmas. Back to you. Now is a year for the fake Jews. They will beg to go back to Russia, to the Caucasus Mountains. Come to find out, Putin don't want you, you fucking parasites over there. In fact, he'd rather deal with Muslim invasion than to deal with you fucking fake Anglo Saxon sack of shits from hell. European piece of shits. That's all you are. So, to accuse somebody of a hate and an anti, bitch, I fucking hate yous. Because you are identity thief. You're nothing to love. You gain power with an identity, claiming to be an identity, a superior identity. You fucking cockers. And all you do is love cocks in your mouth. You rape children in these bathhouses in New York City. And you cabal your asses all the way to hell. In the name of anti-fuckery. Semitics. And you plan on persecuting anyone for this. Bitches, get ready. Because your persecution is at hand. Whether you know it, or wait. Whether you accept it or not. The game is over. And the Most High gave me a vision. As much as you play with Iran will smoke you motherfuckers off the map. That's the plan. If Iran had a choice to smoke America and you, Iran knows better not to touch the God-chosen people. And all you hunky bitches, you hide and you blend in with us. But see, fire will meet you in your dirty, pilgrim, infested portals where your dwelling demons dwell. So don't get too excited. Because your white Jesus will not be able to save you from the Most High. And I want you to know that I fucking hate you. So good. bitch. Can you feel it? Good. Now, back to these honkies telling the truth. You know what I mean? In the name of hating you. Temple.
There to defy the Jew in me, to oppose it, to become a new ethical human being, an Israeli. And by the way, I'm not the only one who speaks about it. When you read Shlomo Zand, he speaks about very similar things. When you speak about, when you read, unfortunately, he's not with us, Uri Avneri, he expressed similar
Israel
sentiment.
Shahak.
Israel Shahak, absolutely.
I read in his book. I know I read somewhere about, which I'm glad you brought up, the real meaning of shalom. Everybody thinks shalom is some peaceful greeting word, but it's actually has a supremacist meaning behind it. And I think I read about that in Shahak.
Yeah, you have to understand when Israel, the word shalom is translated into peace.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now it is very interesting when you start to talk about language, and this is something that I say in The Wandering Jew. The Wandering Jew was regarded by some of my detractors, opponents, as the most anti-Semitic book since Mein Kampf and so on and so on. Although it is obviously not. I was quite surprised by. Actually, nothing is surprising anymore about the way they behave. But I was at the time slightly surprised because, to a certain extent, the book, in a very peculiar way, vindicated them, those people who identify as Jews. And how did it do it? It actually argued, and I think very forcefully, that there is something extremely problematic in the culture. All right. So if you grow up in a culture where there is no word for reconciliation, for harmony, for loving your other, if there is no such a concept, you cannot blame people for not celebrating this concept.
Yeah, you can't conceptualize it if there's not a word to describe it.
Exactly. All right. So it will be slightly difficult to translate the vibe of the desert to an Eskimo, and vice versa. All right, to talk to a Bedouin on his camel, and there is a place where people, it's very cold. They don't even know that, they don't understand half of the terminology that we are dealing with, and the problem is identitarian concept, considering the fact that Maxwell, Epstein, Wexner, Ehud Barak, Dershowitz, whether it is Weinstein, they are involved in a lot of mess. Ponzi, Goldman Sachs, they are the most forceful ethnic group in the West, and they are not playing it in fairly, let's say, in the most polite manner. In order to understand this concept, I go back to a great French psychoanalyst, Jacques Lacan, who understood that the unconscious is the discourse of the other. Now, this sounds very pompous, but it is quite easy to understand. The unconscious, the fear, is the fear that the other sees you for what you are. So let's say that you had a meeting with a girl and it didn't go very well, and the next day you go to a party and you see her and she's with other 5 girls, and you see them talking, you're already sure that she's talking just about you, if you're narcissist enough. All right? And you're upset, and this is your fear. This is the unconscious. The unconsciousness is the discourse of the other. What torment many Jews, self-identified Jews, is the possibility that everyone out there start to see what is going on. And this is why they are in an hyperbolic constant tantrum, fearful of primarily themselves.
It's interesting thinking that all of their anti-Semitism, because they've got hundreds of groups, and every day we see articles that they talk about how much everybody hates them and has always hated them everywhere they go, and they like to argue that it's for no reason, but I do agree that I do think some of them have some guilt. Others are possibly just shameless and don't have any self-awareness. But have you noticed how they're always projecting and trying to... Jewish people say, well, I'm a fellow white, and we need to do better, and us white people have privilege and guilt, and then they're trying to project it the direction elsewhere.
I think that projection is the key word and a key concept. And by the way, the guy that gave us projection was Freud, I think. So we should accept that projection is a key to the understanding of their politics, their identitarians, and more than anything else, their fear. And my theory in that regard is that projection is basically attributing our own psychic features to others. If you think of yourself or about yourself in racial terms, you tend to believe that everyone else is as racist as you happen to be. Now, this can be terrifying, because if you see yourself as the chosen person, the universe becomes a very frightening place, because you tend to believe that everybody else look down at you, while it is actually only you look down at others. One of the most interesting development or a line of thought that evolves from this idea, namely projection, is that we hate in others that which we don't like ourselves. This is not Gilad Atzmon, this is Otto Weininger. It is a very astute observation. This explains why many of the so-called, let's say, homophobes are themselves gays or latent gays. It also explains why some of the greatest anti-Semites were themselves Jews. They didn't like the Jew in themselves.
Yeah,
right?
that brings up another point I was going to say. Sometimes I think that Jewish people even like to say really like inflammatory things to kind of provoke the Gentiles, because when there is anti-Semitism, many Zionist writers before the creation of Israel wrote about this, that anti-Semitism is what keeps Judaism going, and that's what keeps people Jews segregated and under their control and scared, and then so like the ADL, for instance.
Of course, and this is a very true observation. So if there is no anti-Semitism, you just have to invent it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there is no anti-Semitism, what is the most frightening thing for Jews? And when I'm talking about Jews, I'm talking assimilation.
Yes.
When I'm talking about Jews, I'm obviously talking about self-identified Jews. I'm not talking about people who are born to Jewish parents or one Jew. I'm talking about people who the most frightening thing is assimilation. Now, Zionism was there to prevent assimilation. Let me tell you, Jewish anti-Zionists are also there to prevent assimilation. If you feel uncomfortable about Palestine, what Israel is doing in Palestine.
He said, I've got nothing against Semite people. I don't have anything against people. I'm anti-Jewish, not anti-Jews.
Palestine, they tell you, oh, don't worry, come with us. We all Jews together. We all fight against it together. They always try to make sure that you stay within these strict boundaries. What I was about to tell you before, that what is happening with projection and this fearfulness that is the byproduct of projection, we are dealing with a snowball. You attribute your violence to the Iranians. The next thing, you are very afraid of Iran. You attribute your violence to the Syrians or to the Palestinians. You are fearful. You are fearful.
I'll tell you what, if Iran wiped you bitches off the map, the diasporas, the God-chosen people will clap. Yay! 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 Bitches, die. Get the fuck on with your fake-ass identity. Now the whole world surrounds this garbage shit, pretending, oh, God's chosen people. Oh, you from Israel. Oh. And meanwhile, Israel is in captivity. See, if you were really fearful, white people, how come you never understand this? Because it is a white supremacy. It's teamwork, you motherfuckers. Wrestle with us. You are the wrestles that we wrestle. The spiritual warfare that you give to us on purpose. That's why it's very important to be able to identify your enemy. And they can carry on and carry on till they blue in their motherfucking faces. But the truth of the matter is, any second now, we will have the pleasure in watching them being wiped off the map. The land will remain, but the scumbag people won't. How pleasant and delightful that is, even in my own visions. Be glad that we respect the Most High. When the Most High says, please, just know that vengeance is mine. Don't do anything. Let me do it. Keep room for me and my wrath to come upon them. Don't do anything. It's the greatest thing of it all. And the reason why they play is because people let them. And the biggest fear is looking like liars, no one paying into this anymore, and them being wiped off the map. The whole world will begin to fear the God-chosen people as you know it. Although black people are the most hated people on the face of the earth, and these honkies pretend to be the most hated people on the face of the earth. I think it's ironic how they love to project they have Israel in captivity. That is a big problem. Living their best lives with stolen identity, and then on top of that, have the God chosen people in captivity, is what white people disregard every day. They know very well who you are. They do it maliciously. And I want you to know how vicious and disgusting and low down your enemy really is. And they will have the audacity to look you in your face and say, "Oh, he who loves Israel shall be blessed. He who curses Israel shall be cursed." Well, you bitches. That's why you out there dying of cancer, because you don't even belong in the heat. Mm-mm. You hate the sun. The sun will never dress you. And you can report on pigmentation. You can do whatever the fuck you want to say. But to have melanin in your skin is a beautiful thing. And it's one thing you lack. And even when you try to create mulattoes, you even hate the mulattoes that you created, because even they have some pigmentation. They have some melanin in them. But you motherfuckers don't have any melanin. None. Creatures from hell. Beasts of the field. Hunkies. Pagans. Liars. Synagogue of Satan. Trump. Are you fighting them for real? Are they kicking your ass and making you look like you're on their side? Did you really think you was gonna go in there and do what? Do you really love the Jews? Or you knew what was gonna happen? Are you? No, you're a clone anyway. Fuck you, Trump. You're an asshole, just like them. Because all of yous are paid for, bought and paid for. The one thing you fucking hunkies were too stupid to do was abolish usury. And you allow your First Amendment to be infringed in the name of anti-Semitic, because that's how stupid you hunkies are. So, today is a new day. And I want to tell you about my vision that's coming any second now. And that the Most High will grant to me. I say, Yahweh, just let them kill each other. He said, oh, that's exactly what the Armageddon is all about. The Gog and the Magog, the hunkies against the hunkies. Oh, this is phenomenal. Stay tuned for the finale. Because the Most High is not going to let anything happen to his people. Not the ones who are rooted in the special power, the special know. It's a wonderful thing. Black people are becoming fabulous, as they always were. Because it is the parasites who still kill and destroy. And take this for granted. The diaspora, they're growing rapidly. Although, sadly to say, the leaders of Africa are so fucking stupid and dumbed down and so sold out that even they slept on this moment. It is a wonderful thing to see the earth moves with the God chosen people. The earth does not move because the white people say move. Have you not noticed? No matter how down we are, no matter how docile we have ever been, no matter what they do to us, we know how to stand firm and rooted in the power We know how to be the apple of the Most High's eye. That's why we sing, we dance, we do it all. We are the salt of the earth. Rather it's in Spanish, English, whatever, however they colonized us. We are the fucking best of it all. From the motherland, southern kingdom, to the northern kingdom, all they do is rob us, keep us in captivity, steal our identity, and embrace this illusion like, oh, we're God chosen people. But meanwhile, they have Israel in captivity, to say the least. And it's just so wonderful to see it unfold and slap them right in the fucking faces. They're ugly, nasty, hunky, droopy, looking, no salt, no taste, sour, ugly, hunky, reptilian faces from hell. They have no flavor. It's nothing like a black man. Fuck what you heard. And I speak for light skin, dark skin, blue, black, any kind of motherfucking black. Because any light skin come from black. So black is beautiful. Black is original. And they seem to like that. Yeah. And I will be going into, as far as the government, when it comes to digging into history. We will see where the mulattoes will go back. We will see where all the uh, black people will return back to. And we talk about Latin Afro. See, we have a problem. We need to actually, where Puerto Ricans are waking up, the diasporas are waking up. How wonderful. We're collectively coming together. And we are phenomenal people. From the Brazilian Hebrews to the American Hebrews. All around the world Hebrews. Color Hebrews. Okay? The real God chosen people Hebrews is where we at with it. And Trump, you need to stop playing. Because this last step and move that you do will determine you, how you play and deal your cards. Now, I see you in a lot of things and a lot of moves, but see, you're a funny ass motherfucker. Because you pull out of one thing and you create another giant. So I see you in all your ways, how you want to destroy us. You are the last, to say the least. And also your buddy. Shing chang 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 chang. Bitch ass motherfucker from hell. They all in the motherland doing the most. But we will see when that spirit of kill comes upon you like nobody's business. Now, how possible is it? Look no further than the spirit of killing in the good old farm days. When those South Africans were smiting you hunky bitches right out their motherfucking land. How about that? When they chased you hunkies out and off the land and murdered you bitches for who and what they should have done a long time ago. Because all you bitches do is keep us in captivity against our will, selling us bullshit, selling us dreams. And while you have us in captivity, you just rob our children, you rob us, you stir us up, you all around the world, if you will. No, so we want to identify our enemy. And this is very important that we talk to you motherfuckers like this every now and then. Because I know you want to come for Grandmaster Jay. And Grandmaster Jay will tell you, we are the God chosen people. That does not mean that we're anti Semitic. But I'm going to tell you like this. You are, on the other hand, because you hate God chosen people. Because it is very inconvenient for you to be exposed, to say the least. But your time is up. And unfortunately, there's a new moon arriving. And stay tuned, because the Most High is going to use Iran to smoke you motherfuckers off the land. And I look forward to it. Oh, yeah. So you can keep dreaming about superpower. But let me tell you about Iran and his nuclear power that's going to wipe you the fuck off the planet. His smoke will go all the way down to the bunkers and all the tunnels that you have built through ISIS. And your ISIS game is played out. It is so played out. America created ISIS. You know, they've done it all to keep this identity. They created ISIS to destabilize Africa, rather Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Iraq, Morocco, and all these, like Libya, Libya, Gaddafi. This white bitch came and he died, all in the name of trying to create a new currency like gold. But that is the new wave, whether these bitches like it or not. So I highly recommend all the diasporas look up Dr. Arikana and find out what is going on when it comes to buying gold as a diaspora. Try to regain some kind of type. If you are Judah, you may want to invest in some gold, even though Judah is said to destroy. See, Judah is not going back to the homeland anytime soon. Judah, before Judah goes home, Judah will definitely lead the Gentiles into captivity. So have fun on that, because that's in the making. And it's a countdown. Actually, it really is. And all the soldiers and army will be in Israel getting smoked and nuked. I'm just calling it. This is what my vision is seeing. This is the vision that I have. And it's going to happen any second. Any fucking second right now. And look forward to North Korea, you know, wiping South Korea out, chasing you motherfuckers out of there. Look forward to North Korea sending a nice satellite little present for you right here in America. See, they have it all planned out. And you fucking slaves that love these hunkies, oh, you in for a rude awakening. You better not be standing next to one. You better not be interacting with any none of them. Because, bitch, when their time comes and you protecting them, bitch, your ass gonna be done with them. This is not a good time to be near them, dwelling with them, or anything for that matter. Because their punishment is coming like a thief in the night. Their time is up on the earth as they know it. So look forward to that, because I know I do. They already got us in captivity, and this is our only way out. So why wouldn't we look forward to this? Why wouldn't we? How many? How many of these motherfuckers know the ending? Amalek, Ishmaelite, Moab, round table motherfuckers. Thank you, buddy. Love to you too. So we look forward to this prophecy, and so do I. So buckle the fuck up. Hey, and please go and start investing in uh gold. Dr. Ari Khan is working with the diasporas and the descendants. And if you're good enough, you might be taken back home in a nice golden ship. By the way, they never talk about, the chariots that fight on our behalf in Ezekiel 1. They love to disregard this information. And let me be quite frank with you. Starting next week, look to the sky. You will see different objects and amazing entities that will start taking over the sky. I mean, like, we cannot make this stuff up. The comment already says so. Look forward to Iran wiping these bitches off the face of the map. Before we knew any better, we said, "Oh no, it was the children of Israel that were able to keep them, going. Because as long as we are cursed and we are worshiping their Jesus, they have power and dominion over us. But because we denounce religion and reclaim our identity back, hey, the only thing that could happen to Israel is to burst the fuck out of captivity right now. So we look forward to that. And we look forward to Iran wiping these hunkies off the face of the earth. Hey, when we start prophesying, these bitches tremble. Just know the power you really have over their minds. They know it's so good, they want out so fast. They made a killer. CEOs, all the CEOs have left the building. Oh no, bitch. Your legacy shall live. Like Bill Gates, this motherfucker. The computer. Bitch, you built computers and now you think you have the tenacity, the audacity to come and tell us we need to be chipped. So black people, get ready to be really extremely mad. And as the gamma rays drop on you, you will find yourself snapping these motherfuckers' necks, breaking their fucking arms off their shoulders. I mean, like, there's gonna be a power in you that you're just gonna be smoking these bitches, yo. Every hunky that's gonna come for you, you're gonna have a power to fight them in certain ways. Like Storm, like the Matrix. See, they know who you are. You have yet to learn who you are. And boy, oh boy, do we look forward to it. When we start fucking these motherfuckers up during, what would they call that? Blackout time? Let's see what else. Sheesh, they have it all figured out. With the, what would we call these? FEMA. Oh, it's time to defund FEMA. Yeah, that's another song and dance we're going to be doing next week too. Time to defund FEMA. See, we're going to be praying to the Most High. We're going to fast. We're going to fast. And at some point, something major is going to happen where no matter what they try to do to us, they won't even have a nuclear plant. They will run out of generators. So, get your guns. Get ready. Because white people, your enemy, have a plan for you. But just hang tight, because the Most High is going to show out, show in, and show them who his chosen people are and why they so obsessed with you and why they know how you are regular Shaka Zulus and fighters, Oh, they love it. They love it and they hate it because they made money off of you, the best God chosen people, but they don't want to see the tables turn when they start getting fucked up all over the place. And I had a dream that everybody was going to be burning buildings up. I had a dream that everybody was going to be getting fucking led into captivity. Oh, white people, you got a lot of explaining to do to Judah, because when Judah unsnaps, motherfuckers, there's no saving you. You raped them as men once upon a time. You raped their daughters, you raped their children, you fed their babies to alligators. You stole their identity, you stole their kosher food, you stole everything. And now you want to kill them for their XXY chromosome gene that's coming to fuck your asses up. Boy, oh boy, it gets better. It's me, your girl, the Talk with Tiny. Like, share, subscribe. We are here together to conquer the motherfucking world. Black all around the world. You already know. I love you at hello. Have a good day and stay